So now we're going to do the side stand and put the larger side stand on. So the first thing that we want to do is to lift the back of the bike up so we can get access to the side stand without the bike falling over. So to do that we need to take this plastic guard off and these two plastic side pieces on either side of the bike. Okay, I have the side covers off and I'm going to use a service stand to lift the bike up. So when you do that, if you have a service stand, just be careful you don't crush the orange cable that contains your three-phase wiring to the motor. So put the actual stand on the other side of the orange cable. Also I'm going to apply the brake, and to do that I have one of these that I use on my other bikes as well, and you just simply put that onto here, onto your accelerator cable, onto your accelerator, and then squeeze the brake on, and then the clip falls down and now your brake's on. So now we can lift the bike and put it onto the center stand. Okay, so that's done. So it's quite secure and the brake's on the machine. So now we can have a look at addressing the side stand. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is just remove this bolt. On the other side it's actually a Phillips head screwdriver, but let's just loosen this first. Then next we can also take off the spring here. So let's do that. It's a 17 millimeter, so let's just loosen that off. Okay, so that's now loose. We also want to loosen the spring next. So I have this tool, it has a little hook on it, and you can just simply bring the stand back in and just pull on the spring. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the factory side stand that came with the Super Soco TC Wanderer. The first thing is you'll notice that it has a threaded hole, which is quite normal for a side stand. It has a larger one and a smaller one. However, it's back to front. The Soco has the large hole at the back of the stand, and the threaded side hole is on the front of the stand. So this created a little bit of an issue for me when installing it. I'll talk about that in a second. The second thing is the pitch. I just wanted to talk to you about the different pitch sizes. So basically with an M10 there's two main pitch sizes. There's a 1.25 millimeter pitch and a 1.5 millimeter pitch, which is the coarse size. Now a normal side stands usually have the 1.5, the coarse. This came with the longer side stand that I bought, and this is the standard bolt, which is a 1.5. So that's fairly normal. However, the Soco has a 1.25 pitch, so you can actually screw the 1.25 all the way in quite happily. It goes straight in. I'm only explaining this. You don't actually need to buy any hardware. The existing bolt works with the new side stand. But if you ever wanted to use this side stand for something else, you need to be aware that this is a 1.25 pitch bolt that goes through here. If you try to thread the 1.5, it works for the first few turns and then it seizes up, so you can't continue threading the bolt, so be very careful. There is one more type, which is a 0.1. It's a custom one. This is a one off my Suron. They use it on the rear swing arm, and it's a strange nut, but it's a one pitch. It's 10 millimeter, but a one pitch, so that's very unusual to get one of those, but it is possible. So that's the main part I wanted to explain to you about this, is the actual pitch is 1.25. So please remember that if you ever need to use this side stand for anything, that's the right size that you need. Okay, that'll come to my next point, which is about the holes here and what I needed to do. Okay, so the solution that I came up with just to modify the stand that I bought was to drill this hole just using a 13mm drill, and drilling this hole out to 13mm, so that side matched the Super Soco. And then just imagine that now that is now the 13mm hole, and the bolt's going to go through this way now. What you do with the hole on the other side is you just use a spacer. You can actually insert it, and then you can use a hammer. I won't hammer it all the way in, but this actually goes all the way in flush. And then your actual bolt itself goes through here and then through here, and it comes out on the other side. So you've just essentially reversed the way that the manufacturer made it, and it works fine. So that's what I ended up doing. So you'll need to get yourself a 13mm drill for this side and a spacer that can go in the hole that will enable you to put your bolt in the opposite way. So the actual nut on the Super Soco is on the outside of the stand. It faces you. If you look at any other motorcycle, it's the actual bolt head that you see on this side. But on the Super Soco, it's the nut head, so it's coming in this way, reversed. So that's all I did, and it works fine. So one other thing that I found, not on the Super Soco section, but the one that was that I bought from China, as you saw, the welding wasn't the greatest, but inside here they give you a measurement across here, which I can't remember what it is now, but it varied. It went down slightly. It was narrower down the bottom than it was at the top, so I had to actually get my flat file and just file in here on either side to be able to get the stand to work smoothly. The top part was fine, but as I said, when they welded it, it was on a slight V rather than a perfect square shape. So that was the only other thing that I had to do. But yeah, that's it. Okay, just swap the stands over. I'm just about to put the spring back on. So this is the original, and then this is the new one. Lift that up, take the weight off. Just get under the bike, which is not a very good thing to do, but that's the way it goes. And stretch this over the top of the chain. That's one on. And then the other one has to just come off there, I think. Just let me push it back onto the top one first. There we go. Okay, there's our spring. Beautiful. Just before I put it on the ground, I'm just going to take the opportunity to just clean inside under the wheel area, and then I'll put the plastics back on and then let the stand down. One thing that I do want to say is these plastic cable ties, if you notice, they haven't cut them flush with sharp side cutters, and there's one in there as well. You'll actually cut your hand or arm way open very easily. They're sharper than a knife, the edge of those. So they should be cut right flush with the actual plastic itself. So you should cut this tab right off so that you don't cut yourself. It's easy to do. You reach in to do some cleaning and then that's it. You've got a deep gouge out of your arm and then you'll need to go and get it stitched up. Here we go, I'll just show you. Get the side cutters in here. Just put it flush, just cut it off. There we go, sorry you couldn't see that one very well. Let's try this one. Side cutter in here, cut it off, there we go. So you're not actually cutting the cable tie, you're just cutting the cable tie is still on, you're just cutting that sharp edge off these things. This one here can get it maybe down this angle here, you can see better. Where is it? There it is. That's the plastic there that we want to cut off. So let me see if I can come left-handed backwards. Get the tab, cut it off. Beautiful. So it's not sharp anymore and there's no risk of getting cut. Okay, that's what I just wanted to show you. Okay, so we're done. We have the new foot pegs and we have the new side stand. So as you can see now that the bike's standing up, it looks like a normal motorcycle now. The angle is, you know, not leaning as much as what it used to. So I think it looks quite smart. So it's starting to rain now, so I won't be able to take it for a ride, but I will as soon as it clears up a little bit. I'll take it for a ride and let you know what I think of the foot pegs. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more upgrades to the bike, and I'm sure you'd like to be able to see the modifications as they're done. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Thank you.